Yo, what it do, YouTube? Nah, what's up, y'all? So, today, I'm coming to you with a different type of video, a little story. I'm gonna be sharing with y'all how I became D1. How I became a D1 athlete. You know, a lot of y'all may have been wondering, because I never properly addressed it, but today I'm gonna tell you all about it. So, basically, you about to hear my whole football journey overview, how I became a DB, all of that. So, to start things off, I began playing football at the age of 5. About 5, 6, one of them. I played for the best team in the city. It's not up for debate. The Montgomery Cougars. It's not up for debate. We ran the city. Well, I think I got like 3 championships. We were talking about this stuff today. I played with some of my lifelong friends that I met. Akeem Dudley. Now I ain't gonna put their government out. Akeem the Dream. You got Weezbo, front of L. You got Dre Davis. Shout out my boy. You got Jalen Harris. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of goats that play for that team though, for real. But so I started playing about 5 or 6 years old. Grew up it's basically our Pop Warner. We don't necessarily have a Pop Warner league in Alabama, but that's basically our Pop Warner. So played for Montgomery Cougars. I grew up playing in that system about 6, 7 years. I played from the ages of 5 to 12, and it was worthwhile. Some good experiences. It prepared me, but the thing is, after I finished playing Little League, it's kind of like I lost motivation for football. So about 13, 14, basically my 7th to 8th grade years, middle school, I was like, I ain't even feeling football right now. I don't know what it was, but I just ain't want to play no more. I just wanted to be a regular person. Then 7th to 8th grade went by. Got to 9th grade. I thought about it, but the school I was at, our football team was sorry. I went to Jeff Davis High School. Yeah, they weren't too good. In 10th grade, I transferred to Park Crossing, and football suddenly became an interest again. But the thing is, I couldn't play my 10th grade year because the school year had already started and they had already had their team established from the summer. I didn't know about football signups over the summer and nothing like that. I tried my best to get on the team. Me and Akeem did. We tried to get on the team, but it was like, just come out next spring. So it was like, whatever. And then so, in that time, from 10th to 11th grade year, we was just spend time on the field, playing around. Well, 10th to that spring, we just spent time on the field, playing around and stuff like that. And then one day, you know, as teenage boys, we link up and play football. So we used to link up at True Divine to play football. And so we had a big group out there one day. And all of a sudden, this man showed up saying, y'all need to be out here playing around and stuff like that. And we was like, what? We was like, we just want to have fun. He came out there and made everybody get in a position. He said, y'all, this ain't gonna make y'all no better. At the time, I'm like, man, I just want to have fun and stuff like that. So I ended up leaving. A few months later, ended up going back to the field, working out with him. This turned out to be Coach Perk, which is one of my favorite coaches ever. But he got to train me at DB. Because, I mean, honestly, what other position was I going to play? I was 5'9", 160 pounds. So he was either receiver or DB. He started training me to do cornerback stuff. So I liked it. He started teaching me how to cover and stuff like that. And Coach Perk really, like, got me in the right mind in this football stuff. He really brought motivation, inspiration back to playing football. You feel me? Unfortunately, Coach Perk is no longer with us. He passed away not long ago. But rest up, long live Coach Perk. I love you forever. But he put me back in the football spirit. So I started working out with him 11th grade spring. Well, it was really 10th grade spring, going into 11th grade. I started working out with him. just getting better and better. But at the time, it still wasn't taking it too serious. It was just like, oh, I'm playing football. I really didn't put into perspective where this football stuff could take me. So we had our little spring game, 10th grade. I look like a scrub. I'm like, look, check out the picture right here. I look like a straight bum. Wearing number 45 too. That's so disrespectful. They had me in 45, but that's another story. So we had a spring game, had got a few tackles or whatever and stuff like that, but that was just that. We left that behind. We go through summer workouts and stuff like that. 11th grade come, my junior year. I get to working, trying to play, trying to get better and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I think like during fall camp, I suffered like a hamstring injury. Yeah, it was hamstring. And I ended up having to miss like a week of practice. No reps, no nothing. That put me behind. It put me behind while everybody else kept going forward. So I was like, I ain't gonna say I wasn't the best. Like, it was people that were better than me at the time. So it's like once that injury happened, it was like a major setback. It wasn't no working back from that. I tried my best, I kept working, but it wasn't no working back from that. So my 11th grade year, I spent that as a special teams player. You know, I did what I could do. I got in the game sometimes, but didn't really make too many plays. And after 11th grade year, I put in my mind, I was like, I want to be great. I want to make some plays and stuff like that. So me and my boy King, he played running back for us. And my boy King, after 11th grade year, we started working out. We started hitting camps and stuff together. Basically trying to really get the attention of coaches and stuff like that. We took visits to Chattanooga. We went to Auburn camp. We went to Florida State camp. We went to Florida camp. And in reality, Florida was my favorite school. Like, I loved Florida growing up. Like, I was the biggest Florida fan. And the thing is, he was a Florida State fan. So our parents told us to pick some camps to go to. So he picked Florida State, I picked Florida. And mutually, we both picked Auburn because, like, you can't go wrong with Auburn. It's better than Alabama. But, so we did that. We went to the camps. We did a 3-day camp. Really, all the camps was in the same week. We did a 3-day camp at Florida State. I got to meet Jimbo Fisher. Pretty cool experience, but I was in out territory. But now I got a certified letter from the defensive coordinator, Chad Kelly. And somebody want to see the camera since he doing all that barking. Hey, what, you don't got nothing to say? You was just barking at me. He's shy. He camera shy. But I got a signed letter from Chad Kelly telling me what I need to work on and stuff like that. He said he loved my brakes, but I need to work on my T-step because I think I was doing the bicycle brake. Bro, stop licking me. Dogs. His name Ollie. Ollie from the O. He OTO. But told him I need to work on my zone coverage and a few other things and stuff like this. So I was like, okay, if a certified coach say I can, with defensive coordinator tell me what I need to work on and stuff like that, and he told me what I do good, it gave kind of like a confidence boost. So I took that, and after we left the Florida State camp, well, okay, another thing. While I was at the Florida State camp, I got to meet Derwin James. At the time, he was a freshman, but he was kind of like, Derwin was like one of the highest recruited safeties ever. And he was at Florida State. I was looking for Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey was at a track meet. But so as we left the Florida State camp, we went to Florida, which is my favorite school. I met Vernon Hargreaves, Jalen Tabor, and Quincy Wilson. I met all three. If y'all know about that secondary, if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. That secondary was goated. But Florida camp was pretty cool. Then later that week went to Auburn camp. Didn't really get too much buzz from the camps. You really got to stand out when you go to those camps. Not saying it's impossible to get noticed, but you really need to stand out. You need to have something that you perform great at. such as a 40 time, your breaks, your one-on-ones, stuff like that. You need to have something that makes you stand out. That's the biggest emphasis. You can get noticed, but something has to stand out about you because you have all these other 4 and 5 stars at the camp. So some need to stand out. So after the camps, didn't really get too much buzz. We just started getting focused for senior season. So we got back to school, was back to our high school. Got back to grind, got on our grind because it was like, this the year. This got to be the year. Got in our bag. Then like a week before the season, I had an issue. The first day of 2 days, I ain't make it. I ended up in the hospital for 3 days. I was dehydrated, like terribly, like horribly dehydrated. I got home from practice, from the second practice, knowing I hadn't had anything to eat for real. My mama had my mama and aunties, they had everything cooked. They had some collard greens, they had some barbecue chicken, had some macaroni. I sat down to eat. I ain't had no appetite. That's how I knew something was wrong with me. I ain't had no appetite. I really didn't have no urge to eat. So I was like, Mama, can I be excused? So I went and sat down by the toilet, and all of a sudden, I just started throwing up everywhere. And then, not just throwing up, I started cramping while throwing up. That's terrible. That is horrible. 0 out of 10, don't recommend. But then my mama came back there. I was in her bathroom. She bought me pickle juice. I couldn't hold down the pickle juice. I threw up the pickle juice. She bought me, what she bought me? She bought me some Powerade. I threw up the Powerade. And the final straw, I think, was water. She bought me the water. I drank the water. I was sipping it. I couldn't hold down the water either. So I was just throwing up. I couldn't stop throwing up and cramping. I was still cramping. So she rushed me to the ER. And I was throwing up, walking into the hospital. And that's when they started running tests on me and stuff like that. Results came back. Everything was low. I was almost out of there. Yeah. I had, I don't even remember being in the hospital. I just remember waking up 3 days later. Because they gave me a lot of IV bags. I just remember sleeping. And then this is how I know I was out there, because I didn't know I had my phone on me. When I went into the hospital, my phone was on 20%. When I checked out, it was on 4%. So I was asleep. My phone wasn't being touched. I ain't had nobody texting me. But that's another story. But so I get back to practice. Oh, Coach Willett and Coach Burke came to check on me too in the hospital. Those are the realest coach I ever had. Plus Coach Jones. I'm sure Coach Jones would have been there if he could have, but Coach Willett and Coach Burke, they definitely came through and checked on me. So I got back to practice. I was behind again. We always talented and stuff like that, but I was behind again. So there I go, dropping down the depth chart again. Lost my starting spot on kickoff. I was like a 2 at cornerback. Dropped down. I mean, I ain't tripping, but I just knew I had work to do and stuff like that. So went through my senior season, didn't get to play as much. Never really got my spot back. And I was just there going through the motions and stuff like that. It really ain't nothing I could tell you. I was just going through the motions. Then I was like, I was just trying to be the best team I can be, lift up the teammates that was ahead of me, and just keep everybody encouraged. Because that's the type of person I am. I just try to lift everybody up. Okay, Ollie. So pretty much after senior season, unfortunately, we got upset in the first round of the playoffs. We got Bessemer City. It was tragic. But I made some good friends on that team. Juwan Taylor, Malik Cunningham, Cam Bright, Steve Hodges. Made some good friends. And friends. Also Had Kim on the team. Had my boy Big Jalen on the team, VVSJ. We know, I had some real ones on the team. I still communicate with just about all of them for real. We stay in touch. We follow each other on social media. Akeem is my brother, of course. VVSJ. You know, those ones I'm closest to. But we got upset in the first round by Bessemer City. We was projected to go to the championship. Didn't work out that way. However, you just gotta pick it up and go on to the next stage of life. So at that point, I really ain't know what I was doing with this football stuff. So we would still go to the field and work out and stuff like, oh, I forgot Dunk. How I forget Dunk? Dunk my boy too. Dunk is definitely my boy. He go to Southfield with me too. But I didn't know where we was gonna go with this football stuff. So one day we was in January, we was working out at Faulkner University in Montgomery. And we were just putting in some work. Getting one-on-ones against some of the receivers and stuff like that. Well, the receivers put in a word to the coaches saying like, "Oh, we some serious. We can work and we can play and stuff like that." And a few days later, on my birthday, we got offered by Faulkner University in Montgomery. It's an NAIA school, a smaller school and stuff like that. But yeah, we ended up. Well, the thing is, signing day was the next day. So it was like basically make a decision now, or like they put us in a bind. They wanted us to make a decision right away. And I was like, nah, I need to decide on what I need to do and stuff like, because it wasn't a full scholarship offer, but it was a scholarship because they couldn't offer full scholarships. So we declined. I declined. All three of us declined. But I was like, nah, I don't want to make a decision too fast or whatever. So I was like, I'll just push that off or whatever. And after that, a whole bunch of other smaller schools started reaching out to me and stuff like that. But with the main point is like, I could go to school in state with my mom's military benefits. So I had to always keep that in mind. Like, why would I go out of state and have tuition and stuff like that when my tuition is covered if I go in state? So I just had to always keep that in mind. Except if I go to a private school, which Faulkner was a private. Faulkner is a private university. So I just had to keep that in mind. And I just continued to weigh my options, began searching around and stuff like that. And I thought about some in-state schools. I applied for South Alabama, for Troy. Yeah, I said Troy was the option in the other video, but I applied for Troy. And I applied for, what other school? I applied at some other school, I can't remember. But South Alabama and Troy got back to me right away. I didn't want to go to Troy because Troy campus just looked like trash. I'm not dissing, I'm just being honest. Troy campus looked like trash. And took a tour to South Alabama and I was like, this looked like the school. This is like the school I want to be at. So I got all of my paperwork handled and stuff like that. Then Akeem liked it too, so Akeem was like, oh yeah, he want to go. So we decided to be roommates in college or whatever. And the good thing is, all of my boys came to school at South. So Dunk came to South, Tim came to South, Richard Customs, Akeem came to South, and Ike came to South. So here we are, we down here, 5 people that went to high school together. So you can't beat that. It's good to go to school with people you know. But however, only 3 of us play football. So we couldn't play football. We couldn't walk on. The plan was to walk on. Because honestly, I believed in myself. Alright, so basically the walk-on process couldn't take place our freshman semester. It had to take place the next semester, which was spring of 2017. So we had to try out. Got our stuff together. We tried out. We was on the field working. Mainly on the 40 time because we figured that would be a big part of the tryout. So about a week later, all 3 of us got a call. We said we wouldn't say nothing about it until all 3 of us got a call. So all 3 of us got the call. I think I was like the last one to get the call. It was like, you made it. And I was like, okay. And then we couldn't lift weights with the team, but we can only practice. So we got to going through practices and stuff like that. Me and Dunk was at cornerback. Akeem was at running back receiver, one of them. Got to going through the practices. It was tough, I ain't gonna lie. That college playbook, coming from high school where we only ran cover 2 and cover 3, the basics, it was kind of tough. So I went through that spring as a kind of like a learner. Didn't really know too much. I made a few plays, but actually I caught a pick in the spring game. I'll show y'all that video here.
Okay, Kwame.
But then fortunately after the spring I had to it came down to it, you know, they make cuts after the spring. I ended up getting cut because my grades were terrible. Not terrible, I had a bad grade in chemistry class. Chemistry sucks. Don't take chemistry in college, kids. Stay away from chemistry. But they told me just come back out next year. You got a guaranteed spot on the team. Just come back out. Okay, so okay. I just stayed working for the whole next year. But that coaching staff ended up getting fired. So that whole offer to come back didn't exist. I talked to new coaches that got hired. I reached out and talked to them, told them my situation. They was like, well, yeah, son, you got to try out again. And I was like, okay, bet, no problem. Like I said, I believe. Most of all, I believe in myself. That's the most important thing out of all this. I believe in myself. That's why I'm still here, still standing today. I believe in myself. So, tryouts come. Actually, a week before tryouts, 2018, January, I caught the flu. Unfortunately, I reached out to the coaches and was like, hey coach, I got the flu. I can't, like, is it another trial? There was like no other trial, either this time or never. So I was like, bet. So I was like, I gotta try out. So I went out there and tried out with the flu. I was out there dying. I did. The only thing that suffered was my 40. I ran like a 4.8 because I was tired. I hadn't been outside. I hadn't done nothing. I was just there because I had the flu. I've been in the house, but my brakes looked perfect. I still outperformed all the DBs with my brakes and my turns and stuff, my backpedaling and all that. So as expected, I made the team. I came back out. I got a text from my cousin Nene. She told me to tell y'all, hey, shout out to her. But so I made the team, got to working. Different mindset this time. My grades was right, so they didn't have no excuse. Made plays in spring. Went through spring. Did some good things. And at the end of spring, they told me, oh, we would love for you to come back. You're a good player. Let's come back and keep working. So what they don't tell you about walk-ons is most of the time when you're on the team, you're gonna be considered a scout team player. I didn't know at the time, but like you really don't get a fair shot. You're like automatically gonna be placed on scout team unless you can show them otherwise. But fall camp come 2018, as coach told me, go down there with the scouts. I was confused. I was like, what? And he was like, go down there with the scouts. He told me I wasn't consistent enough. So I was like, okay, I'll take this as a development period. At the time, I'm a sophomore. Actually, I'm a junior, but I have 3 years left. So I take it as a little development period. Use that whole year, develop, get better and better on the scout team. And next spring, I'm like, I'm gonna come out and make a statement. So spring 2019 come around, I make that statement. I'm making plays, I'm on everybody, I'm breaking up everything that come my way. I made a whole bunch of plays. I was like, this gotta be the year. This has to be the year. Then at the end of spring, and I was like, well, it's gonna be tough for you to play because it's like 6 scholarship guys ahead of you and they all coming back from injury, so we got to see what they can do before we even give you a chance. Basically saying I don't deserve a chance because I'm not on scholarship. I mean, it sucks, but that's what it is. That's honestly what it is. I'm just a walk-on. So I was like, I understand. I was like, I'm gonna come back. I said, I fully believe in myself. And the coach was like, yeah, you never know what can happen. So I go hard. I get to training. At the end of the summer, I get back to like a day before fall camp. I get a call saying, we're moving you to safety. I was like, safety? And I was like, I mean, if y'all feel like that's a better opportunity for me to play. So they got me on transfer over to safety. I go to safety, start camp at safety. I'm making plays. I always see the thing y'all notice. I always make plays. Always make plays. So I'm going. See, the main thing I was messing up on was just like little alignment things and stuff like that. Like I knew the playbook, but as far as like where I was supposed to line up at, I mean, we was a quarters team. That's how we played. Like it wasn't too hard. But however, didn't really get a chance again. Oh, you're going back to scout team. Didn't really get no explanation. I really didn't know what to do. I was down. I was like, I thought this was the year. I worked hard. I did everything right. And I still ended up on scout team for another season. I was supposed to be being great right now, and I'm still wasting another season. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. Talked to my mom. I was like, should I just quit? Should I give up? And she was like, no, son. If you believe in yourself, you believe in yourself. You keep going. So, I mean, I did just that. I kept pushing through the rest of the season and stayed positive. But I made a vow to myself that I wasn't going through that again. So, 2020 came around. I met my trainer, as you know from my other video. OD, Oliver Davis. I saw him, I met him from Kendall Vildor Instagram. I reached out to Kendall and asked him who he'd be working with, and Atlanta not too far from me, so I saw this where he was. So I started working with OD. We got our first session in. He was like, I don't see why you're not playing or whatever. He was like, you just go out. It's confidence. Just go in and take over. So I took his words. We locked in, got a good bit of sessions in. So spring was supposed to be like a huge statement point for me last spring 2020. But something called COVID happened, and we never got no spring football. So I missed out on a whole bunch of opportunities. It was really based on just what the coaches knew once fall camp came around. So I went back to Georgia a few more times to train, but I really tried to minimize traveling because of COVID. I wanted to be careful, you know, not put nobody at risk, especially with my family. My mom and stepdad working in healthcare. So so the summer came. I was strictly in Mobile, just working out on my own and stuff like that. And fall camp came. I thought this had to be the year. Like everybody noticed it. My teammates noticed it. They was like, "Oh boy, you look good. You making plays and stuff like that." In the scrimmages, I caught a pick. I was making tackles and stuff like that. Like in my mind, this had to be the year. Unfortunately, I wasn't put back on scout team, but I was still placed below all the other scholarship guys because hey, they scholarship guys. So once again, my hard work was going unnoticed, and I wasn't getting rewarded for my hard work. I kept my head up. Okay, so basically, I should have knew that's how the game go. I'm gonna walk on. I'm not supposed to play. I get it, but at least can I at least have a fair chance? So went through last season. Coach talking about, oh yeah, we know you ready if we need you. We know, be ready. But in reality, he already had in his mind that only 2 guys were going to play. Pretty much only 2 guys played at safety all year. No hard feelings, but I mean, that was crazy. Every other position rotated like 4 or 5 deep, but here we are with only 2 people in the whole game. I was so glad when last season ended. But at the end of last season, I really didn't know where I was about to go. In my mind, if they kept these coaches, because we weren't winning no games, so like we won like 5 games in 2 years. But in my mind, I knew that if they kept these coaches, I wasn't gonna be at the school no more. I had to go because I felt like I wasn't gonna play at this school because they already had who they wanted to play. So I began putting together tape, putting together clips, preparing to transfer. No matter where I went, I knew I wanted to go away from here. But however, like, the coaches got fired at that last game. My senior day at Troy, we got blasted. But I let the hire who the school hired next decide my fate for real. They hired Coach Womack from Indiana. I love the guy. He was at South the first time I came out. I loved him. He was a great guy. And our defensive coordinator, Coach Batoon, came from Liberty. So I talked to him. I was like, do y'all believe in giving fair chances and stuff like that? And I was like, am I going to get held lower than everybody else because I'm a walk-on and stuff like that? And they was like, they don't care about none of that. And that's all I needed to hear. Honestly, that's all I needed to hear. And I was like, oh, I just need a fair chance. I know what I can do. Like, I know I can make plays. I just need to know that walk-on scholarship, that don't matter. I need to know that y'all gonna play the best guys. So I got their understanding, and that's where I'm at to this point. Where I am to this point. 2021. We're in the middle of spring camp. And so far it seemed like they sticking to their word. It seemed like everybody's getting evaluated evenly. It's not, oh, you're a walk-on, letting them get their reps first and stuff like that. Nah. It seemed genuine. You just gotta keep working. Like I always say, the marathon continues. So basically, that's my story on how I became a D1 athlete. I mean, it's the road less traveled, especially as a walk-on. You don't hear this journey every day. Most of the time, walk-ons don't be on the team this long. Walk-ons usually gone after 1 year and stuff like that. But I wasn't your typical walk-on. You feel me? Like I feel like I possess the qualities of a scholarship player. And I work my butt off. I work hard. And like this off season, even before spring, I was up there with OD non-stop working. And after spring, I'm about to be with OD non-stop working because I always believe you can get better. I never believe that you're like too good. So I'm just working through spring right now, trying to secure me a spot. We all in a position battle right there. Now, nobody job set in stone. So just got to keep chopping wood every day. But like I always say, I believe in myself. I know I always come out victorious as long as I got God on my side. And I just got to stay prayed up. And just be me. Don't try to be nobody else. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just got to do my part. But spring, we got about 7 more days. Spring, we got our spring game coming up on April 17th, which I will be giving y'all a vlog for. Just so stay tuned. It's gonna be some entertaining stuff. I've been making plays all spring. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in to hear my story on how I became a D1 athlete. And I'm still defying the odds. I'm still beating the odds. Like I'm in that 1%. 1% of high school athletes go on to play college, Division I college football, and I'm in that 1%. And I'm gonna keep doing that. I fully believe in myself, and I feel like this is gonna be the year. But I'm not saying I feel like this is gonna be the year. I set that in stone. I guarantee this is gonna be the year. I refuse to take less. This got to be the year. This the bag year. I'm about to make plays, trying to get to the league, trying to live out all my dreams. You feel me? But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And also, be sure to check out my appearance on the official podcast of DC Sports, Ref the District. Episode 5, I was a guest star in there, and I appreciate them for having me. It was real cool talking about Russell Westbrook and my Celtics and stuff like that. I'm still not switching to be a Washington fan though, but thank y'all for having me. And I appreciate y'all. It's your boy K. Lou Jr. checking out.